Locked in a cell for 23 hours a day with no escape from isolation, Diddy's harsh reality behind bars is as unforgiving as it is shocking.
During the February 22nd incident, multiple incarcerated individuals were medically assessed and treated for minor injuries in the facility. So I guess there was no knives around, Murphy said. 2 incarcerated individuals sustained injuries requiring outside medical treatment. That's the knife play. Hey, you know? Now, Diddy sitting here going through all this, got to go through his trial, you know, so we're going to show some different pictures of Diddy so you understand. Diddy going through it right now, right? So now, what is it? Murphy refused to comment on the injuries sustained by the inmates involved in the fight. He added no jail employees were injured. See, that's all they care about. No jail employees were injured. Hey, you know? So Diddy caught up in all this melee right now. Mango said his sources in the federal jail said more than 40 prisoners were involved in the melee, adding race riots and becoming more.
In a shocking turn of events that has left both the public and his own family reeling, Diddy's courtroom saga took an emotional turn as his son broke down in tears following explosive revelations from his attorney. How did one of hip-hop's most influential icons end up in such harsh confinement? And what does this mean for his legacy? Today we take a deep dive into the stark realities of the Metropolitan Detention Center, the controversial lockdown, and
first is the vast majority of the people who were held at MDC Brooklyn have not been convicted of anything. They're presumed innocent. And that presumption of innocence doesn't mean anything if we're going to put them in a place and say, well, you know, there's reason to believe that you've committed a crime, and so now you deserve to be, punished extraordinarily. Okay, that's not how the American criminal system works. That's just not a way that other human beings, should be treated. Everybody's life at MDC Brooklyn matters equally. Certainly matters to the people who love and care about them, and we need to be treating those human lives with dignity. And so, it's just not. It's not a tolerable situation. And unfortunately, until there's more political will to really implement more meaningful reforms at the jail and address the chronic understaffing, the intransigence, the lack of adequate medical care, all these issues that we've been discussing today,
there's no question. He presumed because it would be very difficult for someone like him to be a flight risk. Okay, so you figure, I'm selling the jet, here are the keys to the jet, here's the collateral to my $50 million mansion in Florida. I am flying to New York on my own accord. I will turn myself in. So you rationalize or convince yourself I'm so high profile in public and I'm going there on my own, they're not going to take me in. But we know the government likes to make examples out of people, and the government's doing a good job here. They're focusing what too many people tend to forget about, the victims. So while it's difficult for Diddy, I know, to be confined in a cell for 23 hours a day, it might not be as hard as the victims they allege he created. Let's focus on them. Let's put them first. And if he can begin to do that, he's going to get more of what he wants, freedom and potentially bond. But certainly, if I were a betting person, I would have bet that he was going to walk out of there into his mansion on 24 hours a day lockdown. Even with security guards outside the house, he's not going anywhere. But
the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is on high alert after a violent race riot forced a near-total lockdown. Former enforcer G. Burrell described the grim reality. Asterisk, phones are probably shut down. You'll basically be on your bed all day. Asterisk, though Diddy and fellow high-profile detainee Luigi Moan weren't involved, the entire facility is under strict surveillance, with federal enforcement officers standing guard. Isolation has...
He's a former mob enforcer who served time in the very same unit where Luigi is housed, and as of now, Luigi's not allowed to have visitors in that unit. Gene, good to have you back on the show. Thanks so much for doing this. What is a modified operation plan? What does that look like?
So if it's a lockdown, the whole building is locked down, it means it's a security risk, which means they will not let you out. Under any circumstances, you have to be escorted by a cop to go anywhere. Like you said, just for a lawyer, you'll only be able to be escorted to the lawyer, and that's it. Which means that if it is locked down, there will be no, or in order to shower, you have to come out the cells one by one, and you get like 3 minutes each to even shower. So that means that is, like you just said, it's a race riot. So they can't let nobody out until they know for sure that people aren't going to attack each other when the cells open up.
So, I mean, it sounds like it's miserable. If you can't have any freedom within an arrangement where you have no freedom, it sounds like this is going to make a lot of people mad.
Well, they don't really care. And let me tell you what's going to happen here. It could even go, if it was gang members, let's just say if it's like two big, powerful gangs that are killing each other, they'll lock it down countrywide in the feds. They won't let nobody out in the feds because when gangs... Sorry to interrupt.
We heard that, where Luigi and Diddy are, it's different, right? It is not the same. Yes. It's not your dad's lockup. Right. How will this modified plan, though, affect them? And might these race riots move their way into that unit as well? And how different will their daily activities be?
Well, like I said, they're in dorms, so you're just going to be on your bed, but there'll be no phones. I mean, if you get a nice cop, actually, no, the phones are probably shut down, so you won't even be able to use the phones at all. You'll basically just be on your bed all day. It depends on the officer that you have on. He might let you sit in the day room. Not supposed to, but you won't be able to go into the room and work out. You have to stay on your bed, and that's it. There's no commissary. There's no movement in the building. There's nothing. Just get your meals, and that's it.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine any of it, for starters. But I have about 10 seconds left, but I have to ask you this. How long could this go on?
So I've seen it go on for a month. It depends on who's beefing with each other. If it's something that could trickle down to all the prisons, they won't let you move. They don't care how long it is. It has to be